Happy Thanksgiving here. We're operating in Thanksgiving week, and we've got some big announcements we're going to make related to our sanitation services, and we'll be doing that. But I'm going to go ahead and list a couple of things about where we're going and want to read off a couple of things happened last week. First off, last week, had a great opportunity to attend the League of Cities event in San Antonio. Several great things came out of that. Had the opportunity, our next press conference, we're going to be talking, I serve on a presidential task force. We're going to talk about bringing forward some of the things that we're doing in that initiative, some of the ideas that we want to commit and show you the platform that we as city leaders believe it is essential for those participating in the next presidential election to support. These are things, if you'll notice, we'll have a purple button because these are things that aren't blue or red. They truly are purple. They're things about what cities do every day, dealing with issues that affect them and their citizens. They're about solutions and just working together with those at the basic level of providing those services and making sure that whoever wins the next election is somebody that's committed to working with cities and moving things forward. So we'll be happy to bring that forward. One of the task forces I sit on, and I'm happy to be a participant on. Other things, Peter Kayagama, he's from Tampa. He's a Floridian, spoke to the group. He's spoken here. He talked about the value of what happens in your community and how in spending little things in your community make your community unique and putting those extra finishing touches make an interesting city, an interesting community, and really create the quality of life quality of place. Much of the things he talks about is when we do certain things, certainly there's a cost to them, but as he says, what is the cost of a boring city? And if you think about that, it can be more in terms of anything that deal with raw cost, just in what you're able to generate from economic opportunity and sustainability of your community and attracting talent. And as we look forward to cities in the future, what we do. And I was very proud, to think that here's an individual who's been to our community and spoke to our city, and really we're trying to follow a lot of what he says in his book, certainly creating a better place. So again, we did a little bit of that. Had an opportunity to attend a couple other events, and certainly on our travel days, my wife and I had a little bit of fun getting to see a couple of the sites there in San Antonio, which was interesting. Certainly they are a tourist city, and how they have taken their asset and their waterfront asset and be able to utilize it. Ours is certainly a little different than theirs, but I think no less different about how we do it and what we do in terms of some of our basic infrastructure. So it was interesting to me. It's always interesting to see how different cities use the assets they have and opportunities. I mean, even one as much as my wife and I did stop by these Japanese gardens that they have that are free for people to go to. It was an old quarry that's been turned into something that's a great little venue, but it's much like some of the things that we have. When you look at some of the things we put investments in, the Admiral Mason Park, certainly Bill Gregory, we have a lot of these things as well to be proud of in our community. And again, it's using opportunities, reuse opportunities to make your community better and create a real asset for your community. So those were good. Do want to say, and also I guess I did have the opportunity Friday to tour the ST locations with senior management from ST there, and had a chance to see what they were doing, and it was amazing. They have one part of their work that deals with they retrofit people that end up, and this is truly in those 1%ers, but they can afford to buy planes and then totally refit the inside. Much of that is what ST does, and they showed me. I went there and saw what they did at their showrooms in doing that. But I also saw several places, a hangar that American was at, a hangar that United was at, and they were refurbishing jets just in the general wear and tear. They put in new seats, new all kind of stuff going in, and again, we would love to see that happening here. Is what we're moving forward and looking at those opportunities. So it was great to see the operations that they had in San Antonio, and I can't wait to see things coming forward. And I think in December 16th, Bill Hafner's going to be here with me We're going to be discussing some things in the next groundbreaking and where we go. And I guess it's called Element 1 of Phase 2 or Element 2. I guess it's Hangar 2. I think that's what it is Element 1 of Phase 2. I think of it as Hangar 2. But anyways, whatever the nomenclature is, we're going to start on our second hangar here soon. And we're excited to see that coming out of the ground. And again, also, Bill's going to talk a little bit more, continuing to focus on workforce development. One of the things that's going to come out of that presidential platform is also a real need to focus on workforce readiness, making sure that we've prepared people for the jobs of the future. And I think that's what's been more exciting than anything else in this work that we're going to have with ST, and really giving some of our students that opportunity. So as we move forward, we'll continue to discuss that. The other thing today, I had a chance to see Andrew bright and early this morning, and if you think radio's all just about the fun, glitzy stuff, Andrew is there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, he's already, I feel like I've worked a half a day already, Andrew, here at 9:30, so now I know what you feel like every day. So he was out at, it was really cold this morning before the sun came up, but out there from Manna Food Bank, the field of Mayflower. I want to give a special thank you and a shout out to Jay Bradshaw, who is a City of Pensacola resident who has the Mayflower Company and what they're doing, certainly trying to donate and get food donated. 6 to 6 today, right, Andrew, at there at Cordova Mall, and 6 to 6 tomorrow. 6 o'clock, 6 to 6, and I did see Sue out there as well. So, WEAR was also there, so I saw Sue there, and so we had a good chance to catch up and be a part of that as well this morning. Certainly, those of our community that are needed the most, and at this time of year, I certainly encourage you, if you have the opportunity between 6 and 6 today or 6 and 6 tomorrow, to take by canned goods. Peanut butter, as you said today, peanut butter and water can sustain you for a long time, but if you have other stuff in your pantry, please take it out and take it there to Manna. But certainly if you have the opportunity to run by a grocery store, and they also take checks as well, so brought one of those this morning to help them out there in what they're doing. So I really appreciate that, and appreciate Jay Bradshaw being a part of that. Also, another event that's coming on here, this is obviously fire safety time. Obviously it's getting cooler, heat's coming back on, a number of issues that we have with fire safety. Last week I think I reported all the alarms, smoke alarms, and again, if you need one, certainly contact our fire services. We work at making sure that people have smoke alarms, but this is a time we want to call specific to fire safety, and it's called Keep the Wreath Green. We have a green wreath that has green lights, and we hope that we'll be out for the next month, and we hope that it will remain green. And again, if there's a fire, we replace the green bulb with a red bulb, but we'd like to keep that wreath as green as possible. The Pensacola Fire Department is participating with Escambia County Fire and Rescue in the annual Keep the Wreath Green campaign to promote fire safety. It kicks off December 1st, and during the month-long campaign, 5-foot wreaths will display in 5 city fire stations and 18 county fire stations, with wreaths at several other locations, including replaced with red, to remind us of the dangers of residential fires. And we hope everyone will practice fire safety during this holiday season. Also, with the holiday season, we will be closed some this week. Just a reminder that the City of Pensacola offices will be closed Thursday and Friday in observance of Thanksgiving. Sanitation customers who normally receive pickup on Thursday will receive a day early on Wednesday. So all of you out there, hopefully make sure that you know if you have Thursday service, you will be receiving it on Wednesday this week. So have that ready to be a part of that. I will say we got several things with sanitation coming forward, but I will say one of the things I really appreciate John working with and getting done is we're going to have a holiday recycle drop-off. The City of Pensacola Sanitation Services will have a recycling drop-off on Summit Boulevard during the holiday season, giving residents a place to bring cardboard boxes and other recyclable materials. The containers will be picked up on Tuesdays and Thursdays and will be removed after the holidays. The drop-off site is between the old and new Fire Station 3 on Summit Boulevard. This is a location, it was probably the most successful location back when we had the drop-offs. Obviously, we had some abuses. We had to stop that, but for the holiday season, whenever the landfill and whatever we can recycle, we can recycle. We really wanted to put it back in an area where we had a tremendous amount of success for the holidays, and you know, if we're successful this year, we may be looking at other locations next year during the holiday season. And I really appreciate John's help in getting that pulled together. Also, this is a reminder, the Haas survey, another reminder for our annual satisfaction survey is now underway through the Haas Center. We are asking all of our residents to take time to complete the survey. It's available online at uwf.edu/Haas resident survey, and the deadline to complete the survey is Friday, December 13th. So don't wait and be unlucky on Friday the 13th. Go ahead now and fill out your survey. Lastly, and I'm going to ask John to come up here as well. We ask for good ideas to come forward from our people. We look to hire good people here and figure out ways that we can be better about what we're doing. John came to me with an idea that is some change, but I don't want us to be afraid of change. It's going to allow us, ultimately, what we think to be more efficient in how we manage the services of sanitation services, and in turn be able to give you, the customer, a better sanitation service. Beginning on January 6, 2020, the City of Pensacola Sanitation Services will be making some changes to streamline operations. Garbage, recycling, and yard waste will now be picked up on the same day as your normal garbage pickup day. The only change is that the Friday customers will now receive a pickup service on Wednesday. Again, these changes will streamline our operations and make sanitation services more efficient. Residents will receive a postcard in the mail soon with their pickup day. And now I'll get John Pittman, our sanitation's director, to come forward and sort of explain a little bit more what we'll be offering out there. But again, this is I think something will be successful, and I really appreciate his idea. If there's a problem with it, it's my fault. So I know it's going to be change, but I ask that everybody have some patience with some change. I think when we get this over, it's going to allow us to be in your neighborhood once, get everything picked up, and be able to move forward into different areas, and for us to be a little bit more focused in what we do, so that we can provide a better quality service while we're doing our sanitation services. John, come forward.
Good morning. In an effort to consolidate to make our sanitation services a little bit more efficient, we're going to take the garbage and the recycling collections, and it's all going to be on the same day. After reviewing the overview of our operations, we thought maybe we saw that there needed to be some changes, some small changes in our operation to be more efficient, to be more effective, to be able to provide that excellent level of customer service that we need to provide to the citizens of Pensacola. So going forward, we will do the best that we possibly can to make sure that we're providing the highest level of service out there. Small changes. I'm excited. We are excited about the changes going forward in January 2020. Putting everything on the curb at the same time on your same day, whichever day is your garbage day. Now you don't have to figure out which day your recycling goes out or your garbage goes out. Now everything goes out on the same day, and we'll provide that service on the same day. We'll come through your neighborhood once on your service day, which is your head day, which will be your garbage day, and we'll collect everything that's out there. And hopefully that will reduce some of the misses, some of the phone calls in our operation. We think this operation, these small changes will make us a better organization and be able to provide the best level of service.
You said something about the Friday, Wednesday. Can you clarify that?
And I'll be happy right now to take questions on this, and then I'll take other questions. But if you have questions on sanitation, and I'll be happy. Right now, your garbage, we have garbage pickup on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I believe it's kind of like the center Pensacola, sort of North Hill and part of East Hill, that into downtown, that is a Wednesday pickup for garbage. A Friday pickup for garbage, and they will now be going to a Wednesday pickup for garbage. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're going to be providing, changing that day from Friday will no longer be will be a Wednesday day. We're going to flip that from Friday to Wednesday. We're going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The overall operation will not be closed. You know, we still have a skeleton crew that will work on Fridays to maintain the missed collections if we have any, you know, special collections, things of that nature.
I think also one of the biggest things that's happened when I did my ride along, one of the biggest things that comes on is the wear and tear of the vehicles and the ability for us to have the right amount of equipment out there and functioning. And John, this is really going to allow us to be much more focused on keeping our vehicles up to speed and preventing those challenges and delays we sometimes have because of things being out of service. I think this is really going to allow you to focus and make sure that all of our assets are as efficiently taken care of.
Absolutely. One of the things this Friday will help is that on Fridays on Thursday when we complete our service, we'll be able to turn the vehicles in to get them serviced. Now we turn them in on Tuesday, and then we try to get everything done between Tuesday and Wednesday. Friday will allow us to be able to do a little bit more, so we have to work a little bit longer as far as our garage, our fleet, maintain our vehicles. We will have that flexibility to do so.
Also, I do believe Casey we've got maps that show what day everybody will be going. So if you have any questions as to your day, we can also provide maps. But again, most of you should know when you pick up through your garbage. This is your black can. Again, those of you Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday will continue to have the same day for your garbage pickup, but you'll also have your recycling pickup will happen on that same day. So you'll roll both cans out, and you'll have your landscaping debris will also be picked up on that same day. And then again, if you're on a Friday pickup right now for your black can, it will simply move to a Wednesday.
So will this be more, I'm sorry. It sounds like you're already sort of on a 4-day work week. Does this mean it will be more of a 4-day work week for the drivers, or maybe explain that a little bit? I don't know exactly how the schedule works for the city sanitation.
We are currently on a 4-day work week now, 4 10-hour days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We're simply going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
I think there's also, John, you were saying some efficiencies to us being in one area and being able to focus rather than taking two divergent areas and trying to work within that area.
That's one of the things that I've identified in our process was that we are all over the city. Being all over the city, your garbage goes on one day, your recycling goes on another day, and we are just all over boat collection. So what I've done is consolidated that into one area, to one route. On your Monday route, Tuesday route, Wednesday route, Thursday route. So we won't have to be bouncing all over the city. That creates a lot of inefficiency. So with this process, this will create tons of efficiency within our operation.
I think back when I think traditionally as we've gone through, what we tried to honor was the city gave extra services in the sense it gave 2 pickups a week. Once we went to essentially still only 1 pickup for garbage and 1 pickup for recycling, we tried to honor those days, but it really was confusing both to the customer and in the way we efficiently provided services. We're still providing 1 pickup a week, but we're going to do it on the same day. It makes it more efficient for us, both making sure our operations are concentrated in a certain area so that we can be more focused in getting that done. It really is also going to allow us to deal with some wear and tear issues better. When I was on my work day, the one thing that they said to me, even more than pay related to them, was making sure that they had the vehicles were working in good working order and ready to go. And I think this is really dealing with fleet maintenance and giving them the opportunity and the operations to set up and get those vehicles prepared so that they're ready to go back again on Monday and ready to go forward. So this is really about trying to provide the best service we can. And again, it's not dissimilar to what's currently happens in the county. There's 1 pickup, and so we're doing sort of the same thing, but we're allowing essentially us to be focused in that area. We're also providing your landscaping pickup at the same time.
So is it going to be 3 separate trucks coming through on the same day, I guess?
Yes, you have side loaders for your garbage, side loader for your recycling, and we have the grapple truck which comes through and picks up your green waste.
Essentially the trucks are gonna be making the same routes, just rescheduled. How exactly is that more efficient, with the exception of being able to, have all the trucks back in on Friday?
Well, the efficiency part is that we've routed them in separate areas to be able to consolidate and pick up everything in that one general area. In the past, we were all over the city. So now that we're consolidated in one area, we'll be able to take care of everything.
Like a single truck, like the garbage truck that comes to my house on a Tuesday.
Correct.
Was also going like to some completely different area of the city on that same day.
No,
No.
the garbage truck will be in one area, the recycling will be in another area of the city. The grapple trucks and green waste vehicles will be in another area. So now it's all consolidated into one area.
But I think what he's saying is, within that one area, we'll start and they'll be rotating around, so you won't get, all three won't be coming around at the same time to your house, but they'll be all operating within a consolidated area, which is if we have any misses or anything else, it makes it easier for us to come back and pick something up.
Correct. What we've done, to give you a little history on it, we've done what we call a tabletop exercise. And when we developed the maps, the routes, what we done, we had different starting points for each collection vehicle. And we actually sit down and we go through those routes. And every day, not every day, but monthly, we go through those routes, getting planned to make sure that we start in the same place and we end in the same place with each different vehicle.
So I'm kind of with Jeremy. I totally understand the benefit to the consumer. I get the benefit of not having bins out in the street all the time because of this, but I can't quite grasp how this is an efficiency for the trucks. If trucks are just running a Tuesday and a Thursday route, now they're all running on Tuesday. It seems 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And it maybe doesn't matter, but I'm having the same.
I think the focus was mainly for fleet and feeling like they had the time and the opportunity to get through there. And if we had a problem with a truck, we don't like overtime, but if we had to do something over the weekend and get a truck back up and running, it allows us that flexibility versus what we were having turning around in the middle of the week. It gives us some flexibility to know what we're doing in those times. Again, one of the biggest challenges we have, and we're making sure, and what I was told over and over again is making sure the equipment was ready to go. I mean, so many times I heard that there were problems. I know we had some late starts. I'll see it on Facebook. People say, "Hey, truck wasn't out," or something going on this morning. We've had, especially with some of those recycling trucks. And I do want to say, one of the things that impressed me the most when we interviewed John, we've been having this discussion. We were even looking to get out of the natural gas vehicles. We have natural gas vehicles that pick up for recycling. We were looking to go back to diesel. John was the one that came and said, "Hey, I like natural gas. You don't need to get rid of natural gas. Your problem is you're running on a 9-liter and we should be running on a 12-liter. And he said the difference of that is, if you think about it, if you got a 9-liter, which were bought, previous group bought the 9 liters. He said 9-liter, the problem is you're redlining all day long. So that truck is maxed capacity of what it's doing. You need the 12-liter, so you have the flexibility through the load, and it just reduces wear and tear on your overall. They're a little bit more expensive, but you save the money over the life of the vehicle significantly. I think that was the way you explained it to me.
That's correct. If we don't have enough to get the job done, it makes it very, very difficult. And I've done my assessment with the 9-liter engines, and over the past, from my past experiences, the 12-liter has always been able to get the job done and not have a strain. And the reduction in the wear and tear of the actual vehicle itself, is lessened with a 12-liter engine because we have more to work with versus a 9-liter.
On the natural gas issue, as I recall, one of the issues with converting the natural gas fleet for ECUA was Hurricane Michael response, that getting the natural gas in storm-affected areas was a problem, whereas gasoline obviously is much more portable and storable. How does changing to natural gas for our sanitation affect our ability to respond to a storm here?
we've been in natural gas for a while, and we're going to continue. We have, of course, Pensacola Energy, so we certainly, we're very focused on making sure that that's up and running. It has made it challenging for us because we wanted to send some vehicles over there for Michael, and then we couldn't send the natural gas vehicles because there was no place for them to do. I believe our garbage collections are still diesels.
Some of our fleet is diesel.
Yeah. But our recycling is all natural gas.
Can you talk a little bit about the contamination challenges facing the city? You know, obviously this is a lot of different client bases have this issue when recycling to the MRF, but I know it's particularly been an issue for the city.
It has been an issue for the city when it comes to recycling, and I've evaluated it, and I've come to the conclusion that we are just not educated enough, and that's part of the campaign going forward in January, that we're going to be out there campaigning and teaching the residents how to recycle properly. I think with streamlining the operation and putting everything on the same day will eliminate some of that contamination within our recycling.
Again, for those of you that aren't aware or streaming and understanding, we have a lot of problems where people take their recycling and throw garbage in their recycling, and then it's picked up, and so it obviously makes some of our recycling then not able to get recycled because it's been contaminated with garbage. So we think that this will also allow us to better collect on the recycling by doing it at the same time and preventing that temptation to put out garbage in the recycling. But we're going to continue to work on education, and we think that this will be a part of it helping as well. Any other questions related to sanitation? John, thank you very much. Again, none of this will happen until January 6th, which will be the start of the first Monday in the new year. So again, you have some time to get used to this, but I do want you to be prepared, and we're going to be pushing out the information to get citizens aware. I will again remind people you can continue for the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks to have the sanitation service the way it is. And if you have a Thursday pickup, it will happen on Wednesday this week, for this week only during Thanksgiving. All right, I'm happy to answer other questions. Yes?
Hey, Annie Blanks, I'm with the News Journal. I'm filling in for Jim today.
Okay.
Do you have any response to the allegations that Councilwoman Myers made last week about sexism and misogyny from the City Council?
I think a lot of that was related to City Council issue and what will be happening tomorrow. And from our standpoint, we're staying focused on what we need to be providing city services here. I think at the end of the day, what we're looking for in a leader who's going to lead the council, we're not focused on necessarily individuals and personalities. We're focused on who can provide the best service as far as thinking of, we need a president who's willing to think about the city as a whole and how we work together to deal with things. We don't need unanimity. We need, or unanimous decisions. We need to work together, but we need a place that we can have thoughtful discussion, open discussion, and work together, and ultimately put together something that's the best for the whole city. And that's what we're looking for in a president. And I'm confident the City Council can get there and what they can find happen. And we'll do that. And again, I think I've enjoyed this past year working with President Tahar, and I think he is exemplified that kind of spirit. And I'm confident that whoever the next president is selected in the council will do that.
Do you think that her allegations are valid? Are you taking them seriously as the mayor?
Again, I think her allegations are valid from her perspective, the way she looks at it. At the same time, I don't think this was not lodged at the city as a whole and our employees, and that's what I focus on. The council is not. I work with the council, but they're not under the mayor's purview. So from my standpoint, I'm very concerned about what people see from our employees and our staff, and I don't believe in any way the complaint that was written in any way detailed issues related to our staff. I think we've gone a long way this year trying to create an open environment that everyone feels like they can participate in, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
So you don't think that that's indicative of systemic problems within the city as a whole?
I didn't see anything in the complaint that led me to believe there was anything related to the city as a whole.
Thank you.
Had you ever heard allegations like that before from her or from any other city council members?
I have not. Again, I'm not going to be clear. You know, she has her own perspective, and everybody's perspective is their reality. But you know, I haven't seen that, and my issue is much more focused on the atmosphere that we as a city and our staff promote. And I didn't see anything in the complaint that said anything about that.
Will you be looking into anything like that now that these allegations have come to light?
Almost all of these allegations have occurred during the previous administration, so I don't see at this point we're moving forward and not looking behind.
Do you have any opinion on who you'd like to see be city council president?
I'd like to see somebody that accomplishes what I think an ideal leader should be, and who that is independent of personality. All right, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, forgive me, I thought that, I was kind of waiting on the same subject. If we could, Marquise Wallace is going to be sentenced today in the Cervantes hit and run, and since that brought so much attention to the problems on that road in the time span, roughly a year, give or take, we just kind of wanted your thoughts about the progress we've made so far on Cervantes, the pace of it, if it's satisfying to you, and obviously we know what's in store.
You know, I think all of us would have liked to have seen something implemented on Cervantes beforehand, but again, there's always the challenges of what is going to be implemented. Obviously, the first round of what came forward from DOT was not what we felt it needed to represent, and I appreciate their willingness to work back. They've responded back in a couple of things. I know while I was in San Antonio, I got to get together with Kareth and his staff, and I see Derek here, and I want to get together with them because I know we've gotten some feedback from DOT. We have a big town hall session coming in. I highly encourage anyone that is over on the west side of town or will be commuting through that portion of Cervantes to show up at that event and make your voice known and make your feelings, listen to what is being presented and be happy to make your feelings known. We are going to be focused on being more walkable, and it is something that I saw in San Antonio and everywhere what is happening with cities, and it was good to see some of the things that they're putting forward. I would love to see us go to a yellow flashing for the left-hand turn lanes, and hopefully finding ways that we could make that safer and not have the stacking there on the left-hand turns. Those are always the hardest. I want to see on the right-hand turns. I would like to see some signage that I saw in Oxford, Mississippi, that says that the person turning right has to yield to the individuals in the walk-in. I know I've showed that to Derek and Kareth, and I want to get some of those signs up in the very near future on some of our roads. I know at 12th Avenue, I continue to hear southbound 12th, people have the light and they turn, and people are trying to walk across Cervantes and they have to yield to those pedestrians. I think we are slowly but surely becoming better, but as Andrew's comments last week said, we're not perfect yet. I mean, we're getting some of the places we understand people and pedestrians have the crosswalk, but we're missing other ones like the one at Commandencia. So we're going to continue to keep working. It's a work in progress. It's an educational part, and even after Cervantes is done, there's going to be a part of education. As far as the sentencing, the individual needs to be sentenced, absolutely. I mean, that's a horrific act, and we're working to be a better place in how we end up driving and utilizing the roads. They're not just for cars, they're for bikes, pedestrians, and everything, and we want to make sure that we're multimodal, and we're focusing on how we can become more walkable and a better part. Let me say also, recently we had a gentleman come to us with an idea, and we're trying to deal with some parking. I think you're going to see some things coming back to the council dealing with issues of parking and how we end up looking. I think our codes are still mired in a very car-centric way. I would like us to look at our codes and what we can do. I think if we will get what we ask for, and if our codes ask for us to asphalt everything for parking, we'll still be in a very car-centric way. If we start allowing people in what you see in downtown, where we have no parking requirement on the buildings and development, we see things happening and moving forward. And I think if we can reward people who put out bike racks, who give opportunities for walk-up, I think those are the things we want to see. They make stronger communities. It's not just about where you drive, it's about where you feel like you live and you commute and you can walk. And those are strong points that we want to figure out ways to happen in all of our neighborhoods.
And then last thing, apparently a few more murals are going up in partnership with UWF Historic Trust downtown. Just any comment or thought around those? The other ones have been so cool.
I think they've been very great. I think we've continued to say that we're going to honor what was in the past. We were open to the future, but we are very cognizant of the past that we've had. And I think those murals show what downtown has been, and they show those things about where we've been. I thought they've been great everywhere I've seen them. So excited about those. It's great to see that presence. I will say we are working with Rob Overton on other ways we can continue to display our past and do it in a way that we're inclusive all the way around. So we're looking at several of those opportunities coming forward, but we're going to continue to focus on that. That's why we say we're Florida's first and future. We're going to continue to honor our past and certainly understand the treasures that we have here in our history. But we are no means bound by that. We believe we are limitless as to what our future is. And I think you see that today in almost all the actions that we're trying to do. We're trying to live to create a better city in everything we do, even our departments down to sanitation. All of these things are critical to what we do in the city of Pensacola, and we're going to continue to do them to make things better. Thank you very much.